drums of war.
It's going to war, you know what it is, guys. It's fucking straight up the front lines. I'm going to the front today to fight for the Jewish people.
Trapped in a never-ending battle against anyone brave.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest bars, by the way, that he like presented himself as like this brave soldier fighting anti-Semitism on the internet by attacking some of the most prominent anti-Zionists who aren't anti-Semitic, while collaborating with people who very openly are anti-Semitic. Not a single person was like, this doesn't make sense.
Enough to fight back. The architect of the culture war sits safe and tucked away from the horrors of the front lines, with endless resources and endless rage for the world that he created. But maybe, just maybe, we can turn back the clock. Maybe this time, we can actually stop Judgment Day from happening once and for all. Face the force powering all the hate and shut it down for good. It's the only way to bring about change to the chaos of war. Some people think that change is impossible, and maybe they're right. Because if I know one thing, it's that culture war never changes.
Has the brave warrior fighting anti-Semitism actually had any statements about Asmongold's open celebration and intent to collaborate with open neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes? Or is he noticeably absent from that because he thinks Asmongold is a brave warrior fighting against his one true enemy, me? And he does not want to, he's not actually remotely invested in anti-Semitism at all. And in a much smaller version of what Israel does, is willing to collaborate with actual anti-Semitic people or anti-Semitic collaborators with the hopes that they will take down his number one opponent while cynically smearing his number one opponent as an anti-Semite. I fear the influencer circle is like a digital form of political theology. People don't give a shit beyond wanting to root for their side. Someone in my personal circle believe Kaige because they don't like Hasanabi and think Ethan is right about you and Twitch being anti-Semitic. That's awesome. Kaigate is one thing, but also assuming that Twitch is anti-Semitic and I'm anti-Semitic, that's, I don't know what to say about that. That's fucking incredible.
Let me tell you guys a story.
Ethan Klein can't stop harassing women on the internet.
You know I don't like talking about women's looks.
Yeah, said that one. You don't need to. You don't need to.
It's beneath.
He hates that.
That being said, you pig, you loser. It looks like she lives in a swamp. It looks like she hasn't showered, and she is a succubus. You're a fucking piece of shit. You are the biggest fucking. Oh, can I say it? She did. Fuck you. I can call her a bitch. I can call her a horrible person, but I would never do.
I saw a younger guy that I'm on mutuals with on Instagram today, and he was going off about how after the fascists are gone, that we need to go after the left. The left needs to be shot. I guess he said at the end of his rant, he mentioned Hasan needs to be excluded from society or some shit like that. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of people who are that online, dude. It's just like, if I occupied that much space in your mind, you're unsalvageable. I hope you do grow out of it eventually, but it is pretty crazy. Like, you must have watched so much slop tuber content to arrive at that position. Like, oh, we got to get rid of these fascists and then also get rid of the left. So why do you want to get rid of the fascists? I guess the next step is to realize maybe fascists are the wrong enemy, right? And then you align with the fascists, which is what historically a lot of liberals did.
Do that. I would never say that. And I mean that. I only use this harsh language to exemplify the fact that I can say whatever I want about her.
Can I just say that we don't have a clique problem at this school? And some of us shouldn't have to take this workshop because some of us are just victims in the situation?
That's probably true. How many of you have ever felt personally victimized by
Ethan Klein?
Whether he's victimizing himself about anti-Semitism or those dreaded snarkers, Ethan has spent the last 2 years honing his blade of victimhood and using it to strike down any woman who dares to criticize.
This is this is an anti-Semitic blade. Oh no, he's signaling. He's signaling his anti-Semitism.
This insane harassment and
This is Alex Novell. For those of you who don't know, or Novell, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he's a phenomenal editor who has routinely like infiltrated the Daily Wire's orbit and numerous other places, and has done a lot of fantastic videos about like the inside workings of like Daily Wire and shit like that. He's great.
defamation campaign that you've been sucked into.
Swastika Tana.
And while you are trying to be this fair arbiter of truth and research, you are repeating straight up fucking lies as part of a anti-Semitic hate campaign. And I'm not saying she is yet.
You may.
And you're saying swastika hilt should not make me feel uncomfortable. No, you're insane. And what, 3 million people watched that, and nobody who supports him thought that that was a little fucking nuts, a little fucked up to tell that? It's just like, these people don't give a fuck. I mean, it's kind of disillusioning where it's like, do these people care about this at all, about anyone?
Yeah, see, the biggest problem here is that Ethan Klein thinks that people not liking him is the most anti-Semitic thing. If for Israel, the peak of anti-Semitism is not actual anti-Semitism, but simply being against the state of Israel existing as an ethno-state. For Ethan Klein, the peak of anti-Semitism isn't like Holocaust denial or whatever. It's actually hurting Ethan Klein's feelings. Okay? Everything begins and ends with Ethan Klein's feelings, which, of course, because of his mental state, being in a state of disrepair, has worsened overall, and the window for things that hurt Ethan Klein's feelings has gotten larger and larger in the process.
That blade of victimhood cuts both ways, as both his YouTube channels are bleeding subscribers. The H3 podcast, Ethan's main channel, has lost almost 400,000 subscribers since January of 2024, making them one of the fastest shrinking communities on the platform.
Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. The views are down. We'll get them back. These are people that I wanted to shed anyway, let's be real. I knew what I was doing when I got into this. But the views are down, the members are down, the revenue's down. And
Ethan's coughing. Listen to him. He's like Tiny Tim, man.
Dude.
He's like Tiny Tim over here.
But Ethan Klein will not go down without a fight. When he's not going scorched earth on his former friends and colleagues, Ethan Klein spends his time fighting multiple court battles and rage texting anyone who disagrees with him. I was actually lucky enough to be on the receiving end of some incredibly paranoid Ethan Klein rage texts that I've taken the artistic liberty of bringing to life with a dramatic reenactment.
In this dramatic reenactment, the part of Ethan Klein will be played by Michael Jackson.
Hope mediation went well yesterday. Let me know if you think today will work better for you or if tomorrow is better. I know you have a show today, so no worries if you need to postpone. I'm around all day today and tomorrow.
Meditation ended up taking like 13 hours.
No worries, we can
Brilliant.
talk tomorrow.
The next day.
How's today looking for you?
Do you have a problem with Taylor Lorenz infrequently retweeting the account called Ethan's Attic, whose sole purpose is to lambast my declining mental health?
Why? Wait. Why is this? What? Why is that something that he just came in hot with? How much does this shit occupy his mind, dude? What the fuck? That just came out of left field for no reason. That what?
You think it's okay to target someone's mental health as a partisan attack?
I retweeted him for sharing my video. I'm a small creator. Retweets do not equal endorsements.
Oh, okay.
All my accounts are public. It's not a gotcha that I've interacted with these folks before.
Here is a post that you retweeted. That jacket is fitting because Ethan Klein is now just a locale. Do you think I'm a locale?
I think he has always been kind of this way. So I have been watching H3 since the beginning. I remember my first article about H3 is in like 2018, I think is when I first started writing about him in Newsweek. And I've always found his content fascinating, but it's evolved so much over time. He's starting to get more and more paranoid. Ethan Klein has become more siloed off. And I don't think he even leaves the house anymore except to go to the podcast. He's kind of scared of everything. That's why he's like siloed himself off in this $1 million mansion. And I think over time, that problem has only gotten worse.
Ethan Klein is actually in a state of psychosis.
Yeah.
I think part of what's it feels maddening. Feels like gaslighting, like crazy making. Like it's so frustrating to look at all these super woke people and nobody fucking can see what's happening.
Ethan's paranoia has clearly overtaken his online personality.
Yeah. All these super woke people can't see what's happening, and all these super anti-woke people are actually somehow arriving at the woke truth. I wonder if it's because I'm wrong. No, it's all of my former friends, former collaborators, former fans who are all wrong. And it's all these new fans and new fans that I've cultivated in the process, even though the community is diminishing, that are anti-woke expressly, openly, and do not care about any of the politics that I have presented for a while now. It's definitely nothing I'm doing. It's the Tim Pool phenomena, you know? It's not me, it's everybody else.
To the point that it's become the fuel for his entire content machine.
She's doing the thing where she's saying this Jew is hallucinating anti-Semitism. He's tricked his audience into thinking there's anti-Semitism, and he's making them paranoid. And it's actually totally fucking insane. Like, this is just straight up Nazi racism. Like, holy fuck.
From Ethan's perspective, everyone is out to get him.
Yeah, no, all of these people who are definitely not anti-Semitic are actually straight up Nazi-style anti-Semites. The people who actually collaborate with open neo-Nazis who openly say Hitler is based in stuff, those guys are the good guys, though. Why? Because they like me, and they also attack my enemies. I'm sorry. How the fuck can you not see what's going on there? Like, how is that? They must not see it, right? Like, there's no way. Because I want to understand the mindset. I wish Headband in the chat was still somewhat a H3 foot soldier while simultaneously being a Hasanabi head for me to like try to peek into the consciousness of someone who's still got their feet in both communities. You know? Like I genuinely want to understand like what a loyal poop soldier at this point still thinks when they're like, no, I'm woke. Like, I care about these issues. I care about women. I care about anti-Semitism. Whoa, dude, Jesus Christ. Ron just came in and just fucking...
But that also means that everyone is also fair game to be targeted by him.
Listen, if you're going to talk shit about me, I have a policy. This goes for everybody. I don't give a fuck how small of a creator you are. If you talk shit, you're fair game. And if you can't deal with it, then don't make the fucking video. Welcome to online.
No, yeah, you're not listening.
I'm not like all the other bitches that you can shit on and fucking just collect the free views. That's not how I do it, okay?
Ethan's quite successfully turned the word snarker into a catch-all term for anyone who criticizes him.
Snark needs to start being used as a pejorative. Like, that needs to be a slur. Someone's a snarker, that's like a straight up like racial slur.
But then we don't
not
want to say it.
What the fuck?
No, you can say it, but it's like, you can say it.
Not if it's a racial slur.
Like
it's genius, really. He doesn't have to address any criticism. He can just say that every person criticizing him is part of a deranged snarker hate mob.
You are so dumb. Yeah, this alleged harassment campaign. Thanks to Content Crash Out, the most deranged and also snark subreddit, for giving me all the information.
I want you guys to think for a brief moment that all the slop tubers in the orbit of Ethan Klein and Dan Stalkman, who may or may not be getting, paid by either of these guys, or at least like are farming revenue off of these guys, how would they behave if I did 10% of what Ethan did on whether it be like consistently attacking smaller content creators, actively calling them like bitches, and refusing to entertain any sort of valid criticism that's coming from former fans and former collaborators, former friends. Like, think about it. Imagine if I tried to sue anonymous Redditors. Like, imagine if I went after LSF, for example, when there is actual, like, direct evidence from former moderators of this massive Reddit community that the community was forcibly overtaken by a guy who has competed in a competition called DGGer of the Year, right? One of Destiny's most loyal fans took over LSF, and they basically use it as a farming operation. Can you imagine, even with all of that valid evidence that's directly out there, that I tried to sue anonymous Redditors or unmask them and make it seem like there's this grand fucking conspiracy, even though there is a little bit of it, right? If I did any number of those things, how many YouTube videos would be made about Hasan absolutely fucking despises any sort of valid accountability initiative being implemented by all of these fucking cyber stalking snarkers. Yeah. Imagine if I did that. Imagine if I what else? Imagine if I fucking posted like 4 Instagram stories a day about Ethan Klein. In the brief moments that I even barely mention Ethan Klein, their fandom goes crazy. They're like, oh my God, yes, he noticed. He noticed, he's so mad. You know? It's crazy.
I ever needed about Ethan. It didn't invite speculation.
Yeah, I sued Boner Box openly in an effort to financially put him underwater, and I basically found like a copyright reason to do so, right? And I just fucking openly sued him, and I made him do an apology in the process. Do you think people would be talking about how based it is? Do you think that, people would be celebrating that shit? No, of course not. They'd be calling it out, because that would be fucking ridiculous if I did that. Okay? My coworkers watch Kino Casino a lot, and they swear the situation is the complete opposite. Like, you're constantly losing in court to this guy, and you're like the only one losing followers and prominence. What the fuck is Kino Casino? Wait, what? I'm in constant legal trouble with Ethan Klein? That's what they're saying? I don't even know what that is. It's like a slop talk show. There are right-wing Nazi podcasts? I don't know. Andy Race Worski show? Wait, I don't get it. Aren't those guys like anti-Semitic? They packed up. They were like, you know what? We're hanging up the Jew hatred for a little bit. Oh my God. You know what? Perhaps Ethan Klein is actually tackling anti-Semitism. One racist groyper neo-Nazi at a time. He has made a lot of these groyper neo-Nazis who absolutely despise Jews, who are unironically anti-Semitic, pack that up for at least a brief moment. At least a brief moment, so that they can turn around and attack someone else that they hate even more. me.
From anyone out the most deranged snark circles. That's what snark brain is, and that's what he's suffering from. You don't have to suffer from snark brain. We need a hotline. 1-800 snark brain.
Ethan didn't invent hate mobs, but he is an expert on weaponizing his own.
All right, let's go to war, guys. Speaking of which, and like I said, when you see what's going on, I have no choice. I have to do this. I want to get along with the fun in the games and just have silly, fun episodes. And listen, we did have some silly, fun, lighthearted episodes this week. I'm glad to offer a variety. However, when this is happening, when the war is coming, listen, I'm like Ukraine. When the war comes to me, I have no choice but to defend myself.
Okay.
I'm being invaded, okay?
Okay.
And and ironically, I'm also being invaded by a bunch of fucking commie tankies.
Besides his rabid community of YouTube members, Reddit foot soldiers, and FUPA troopers, Ethan Klein also has a network of commentary orbiters leeching off of him for drama content.
Nicholas Diorio, my fucking best friend, dude. I call him Jolly Saint Nick. I love Nicholas Diorio. I'll say it. I've been watching your content. I think you're a very funny guy.
And I feel like your coverage has been really good on topics that I end up watching. Like you're good with research.
He's the Pope.
Top slopper and cousin of John Pork, Nicholas Diorio, made over $241,000 in a single year.
Oh, there it is. Now we know why. Now we know why so many of these guys will suckle on this teat. I think it's pretty funny though, because it's like, I feel like this is unironically more profitable for Nicholas Diorio than it is for Ethan Klein. Like Ethan Klein is losing relevance, losing revenue, while all these other like fucking weirdos are. Even Diorio said himself that Hasan wasn't anti-Semitism in that New York Times or Variety article. Oh, you mean like, even he was like, hey guys, I think we're doing our slop has gotten too low effort. Like we need to be more intelligent about the way that we do fuck Hasan pose. Is that what it is? I respect that.
Covering the Ethan Klein drama in his classic VTuber slop format.
This is why I respect this guy. He stands on fucking business. That's what he's doing right now. It could have been so easy to just maintain a friendship with Hasan and just flow through, cashing in the money from these fucking freaks. But instead, he's doing this, and I respect him endlessly for it.
For years, Ethan's content was about goofing on people. But if you tune into the H3 podcast today, Ethan is just using his show as a platform to destroy his enemies. And who does he choose to destroy? Well, lately, it's almost exclusively women.
Ethan Klein claims he will never be done harassing iDubbbz and his wife, and he said, that's not what I said. And if that is what I said, if I did say that, then you guys still deserve it. And by the way...
Oh, okay. That's the definition of a local cow. Someone that doesn't realize that they're the butt of the joke and they literally just create an environment where everyone else benefits from the content. You mean a lol cow, not a local cow. A lol cow is a cow that you milk for the lulls, not a local cow, chatter. There are definitely a lot of people, I think, who egg him on though. And like, I would say DGG definitely is like a great example of this, where they like infiltrated his community, egged him on over and over again because he's so easy to pull the strings on, and redirected that against their number one op, their number one enemy, me. But I do suspect that given that Sex Destiny's content is primarily political, or I don't know if he still does content or if he does political content at all or not, but it becomes a lot more difficult to defend him in general. So they have to like latch on like a parasitic force to another person who hasn't been as tarnished. But then in the process, that person's reputation takes a major hit too. So then they have to move on to the next thing. But the ultimate goal is to like a cancer spread far and wide.
You can never accuse me of harassing them after what they did. I can never harass them. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, it will never qualify as harassment because what they did that launched this. Fuck them both forever.
If you're afraid that everyone you meet is going to come after you, like, what does that do to a person? It makes you into a perpetual victim. It's always about, I am the, you know, again, I am the victim. I am the one at fault. You are bullying me. Though I am bigger, though I am more aggressive, though I speak in hyperbole about how these people are the most awful things on the planet, which again is also kind of part of the Ethan Klein brand, is that everyone else attacking me is okay to attack, but if you attack me, that is considered unacceptable, and my audience should know about that. It is, I can do whatever I want. I feel like I can attack anyone I want. But if I give that same response back, then you deserve no sympathy.
There's certain lines you cross, and you cross it with the wrong people, and that's what you did. Just wait.
I swear to God, like, Alex isn't saying it, but it just reminds me, it's the Israel method, dude. ChatGPT, create Israel as a streamer.
Just wait. Okay? I can't wait for videos crying, Ethan's suing me, Ethan's stalking me, Ethan's all this. Yup! I'm doing all that! I'll see you soon.
Ethan didn't sue.
There's still an element in a slop where they don't want to be considered a dumbass, even for the dollars, and Willie Mack show and Dioria have been called out by other sloppers for riding so hard for Ethan. Oh no, I've seen that. There's a lot of like, there are a lot of orbiters and stuff, or former Destiny orbiters and stuff, that have just like completely latched off the teat and are actively fighting him now. I see that every now and then on my timeline. What's it? There's like an account that just will constantly post these like debates, and it keeps showing up on my Twitter timeline, where there is a lot of people now who are like, yeah, I think you know how it starts? This is how it starts. First, someone will say, you know, I fucking hate Hasan, but these guys are even worse, I think. And then slowly but surely they're like, they lean into it, and then and I don't even do anything. I don't talk to these guys. I don't know these guys at all. I've never conversed with these guys, right? But slowly but surely they'll be like, they start realizing once that fucking first string is pulled, I swear to God, slowly but surely they start going, okay, you know what? Maybe Hasan wasn't wrong at all. And these guys were just simply presenting him as wrong all the time. There's like a interpersonal, there's currently a war waging amongst some of the former sloppers. You know, there's a level of quality assurance that must exist in the slop tuber space, and some people have been realizing slowly but surely that like a big chunk of this was just geared by you know, negative priming through clips and algorithmic boosting. It's interesting.
To XQC, who he previously accused of being a content thief.
No, you still are a content thief, in my opinion.
Take it back.
No, why would I take it back?
Because if you're gonna reel it back and say,
I just said that wasn't a good analytical point. I still think you're a content thief.
He went for women in the commentary space, smaller creators that he could bury in legal fees and bully into hostage-style apologies.
There's so many people, in my opinion, that owe me an apology that I'm honestly not. I'm not complaining about any of the ones I get.
Ethan Klein's long-running struggle with his ingrained misogyny has gotten him into a few controversies over the years. But nowadays, his show has morphed into almost exclusively misogynistic rants about women who have criticized his rhetoric.
Yeah, and I'm not here to criticize anyone's
I'm not either, but like
and stuff.
As a parent.
But like, if you're gonna get on camera like this, like, how dare you sit there and moralize and theorize?
What the fuck is wrong with? Wait, what? Wait, what was what's the problem?
I'm not either, but like
and stuff.
As a parent.
But like, if you're gonna get on camera like this,
what is the issue? Whoa, that is so loud. That's a crazy line of attack. What's the issue? No, it's not March. It's my brother. There's a lot of movement in the background. She made a video about him that told the truth. She's cruel world, happy mind.
Like, how dare you sit there and moralize and theorize and LARP like a fucking mental health professional of any kind? You don't know anything.
I have to admit, I slipped up the other day.
Kinda is.
I called Taylor Lorenz the dealer.
I know, but she is.
But I do regret saying that. I don't like using the
You
dealer
have to, but
on
like
a
you
woman.
reserve it for the special cases.
But yeah, sometimes it really.
As far as other male content creators, I feel like I've come a long way in terms of like not using that word in a misogynistic way, right? I almost phase it out entirely. I can call her a bitch, I can call her a horrible person, but I would never.
I think Alex is not respecting the growth, okay? You know who's respecting it? Ethnic Santa. He's dancing. That's brave. Why aren't you guys clapping? He's lowered the amount of times that he calls women bitches when he hates them, okay?
Do that. Denims is a dumb fucking bitch. She's a fucking bitch.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Never mind. I apologize. That was... Maybe he hasn't stopped doing that. My mistake.
Fans, I couldn't help but the whole time feel like... Shut up, bitch! The way that I felt...
Hey, Rock. You know what? Standing up for the Rock. He's right.
Throwback right there. Wow.
She really is. She really is a Nazi B word. Can you call her a Nazi B word for me?
Nazi bitch.
Yeah, thank you. Tamara, do you want to call her a Nazi B word? You're another Jewish woman. I can.
Wait, I don't know if she's there.
Any Jewish women want to call her a Nazi B word?
I don't think she's there.
Oh, she's not there?
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'll call my mom.
Among all the women...
Am I crazy or does it give off like Hunger Games vibes a little bit? Like, maybe it's because I only recently watched Hunger Games for the first time, but like, there's something very Hunger Games about the way that they're behaving in the studio. Like, it's very much like the wealthy district.
And that he spends his time raging about. Perhaps no one has been harassed by Ethan Klein more than Taylor Lorenz.
Or Taylor Lorenz,
Squid
brief
Games?
update
Kind of.
on my best friend, my favorite girl, Taylor Lorenz. Taylor Lorenz was accusing me of being a misogynist for saying she looked like a ventriloquist dummy. But here she is making fun of my small feet, trying to demasculate me. Yeah, you saw Taylor Lorenz there, eh?
I saw and a bunch of other people.
You said she was looking real sour.
Yeah.
Nobody probably wants to be friends with her because they're afraid she's gonna like break down what they misrepresent, some weird shit, and write an article about them.
She was yucking it up with some people. It looks like she had
more like yucky and it up.
What's Ethan's goal with targeting you, do you think?
I think he hates women in a lot of ways. But I think it's the Hasan thing too. Like, I'm a progressive woman, like in Hasan's like broader internet circle. And I think he's a bigot who doesn't, you know.
I mean, is literally a multimillionaire torturing the poor with litigation for his amusement, not out of the realm of possibility for him to cause a suicide with this kind of action? Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's why it's that's why it's also increased. That's why it is more shocking to me that more people don't go, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's for a bunch of like very mean-spirited people, you know? Like a bunch of very mean-spirited people who are just like really, really excited at the prospect of just like shooting someone while they're down, you know? They're like, yeah, stick a knife in them. That's part of the reason why I think they just like have singled out Frogan as like the #1 enemy, you know? Very strange behavior. All the smaller commentary guys I watch hate his ass. Yeah, ironically enough, I feel like the more he's leaned into this, like, I'm actually trying to fix copyright angle, when it's very obvious that it's just a way to try and torture a bunch of people who don't have enough financial support to be able to go on this like long and incredibly costly endeavor. But even if they were to actually take it to court, like the notion that they would be able to like, even if Ethan Klein were to win, it would redefine copyright in a way, in a negative way for a lot of these slop tuber people as well. Like it's very abusive. So a lot of these people that are defending him are unironically cooking their own careers. Like I said, Philip DeFranco and others need to call him out. He even made a sexual comment about Phil's wife on stream, and it's crickets from Phil. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have anything to say about that. I feel like there are a lot of much larger OG content creators who I suspect have seen some of this stuff, and they probably don't want to get involved. I think a big part of the reason why they initially didn't want to get involved, is because they did not want to like invite extra scrutiny and anger and resentment from hate mobs, because a lot of the other larger communities, not just like Ethan's own, but a lot of these other larger communities like Asmongold's and whatnot will aggressively go after people. And they have no chill. They don't have any restrictions at all. Like everyone is on the table. They'll go after your friends. They'll make your life a living hell. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. And I think initially the reason why a lot of people didn't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole was because it was seemingly around the issue of Israel-Palestine, which for many of these content creators until recently was a subject that they did not want to broach at all, because all of a sudden, God forbid, you get called an anti-Semite. And then that's a really, really difficult subject to... That's a really, or used to have a lot more power, even if it was used in this like cynical fashion. A major old school YouTube legend who's Jewish himself calling you an anti-Semitic person, that used to fucking hit huge. That would hit hard. I think things have changed quite a bit in the last 2 years as the anti-Israel position is now the popular one, which is part of the reason why a lot of people have had to pivot themselves to try to make it seem like they were always anti-Israel all along. You know, Ethan Klein himself has done something like this too, where you know they're desperately trying to be like, oh no, I know I spent all my time attacking critics of Israel, but I actually was doing that in a way where I was also anti-Israel, and these guys were actually harming the anti-Israel cause or something. But it's fucking bullshit. It did hit hard up until May of this year when there was a mass famine on top of a disgusting genocide. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you saw like Moist Critical came out and was shitting on Israel.
He doesn't like progressive women.
I've known Taylor personally for many years, and Taylor has always kind of been a target of right-wing harassment campaigns. Taylor responds to these people, you know, and that is what they want out of an enemy. They want someone who will keep engaging and will keep creating content for them. You know, Ethan keeps going and then Taylor responds, which he has every right to do, but it keeps the content mill running over and over and over. I think when it comes to like Ethan's, you know, Ethan definitely, I believe, you know, having spoken to a lot of the women he's gone after, he definitely goes after women a lot. Like it's undeniable at this point.
Ethan Klein's obsession with Taylor Lorenz runs deep. Between the hundreds of Instagram stories and podcast callouts, it's clear that Ethan Klein is using his platform to try to destroy Taylor's professional reputation.
Taylor, you are a propagandist scumbag. This is not reporting. This is hackery. Oh, Taylor. Oh shit. Taylor, okay, I wasn't prepared for this.
Thanks so much for chatting with me.
I'll be totally honest with you. I don't respect your reporting.
Yeah,
and
don't believe
I don't
your
think
eyes.
you're honest.
Believe actual journalism.
Is that you?
Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Taylor, not if you're a hack. Not if you're a hack. Yep.
Bro, this is fun. Hey, listen. Politics aside, I think we can all agree this is banger comedy, okay? This is now when I think of legalized comedy, I think of Ethan Klein and whatever he's trying to do here. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to hold back tears from how much I'm laughing, which is crazy because it is supposed to be. It is literally supposed to be a comedy podcast.
Taylor, not if you will support Hasan until the very end, no matter what, with the small hope that that if you're the last woman on earth, maybe he'll sleep with you. Not if that's all true. Go ahead. Go ahead. Not if that's.
For chatting with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Women are incapable of making up their own minds and making their own decisions. They must have a sexual desire behind why they believe certain things. You know, why they advocate for certain things. I think one of the craziest aspects of all of this is that there are still like some poop soldiers that are of the female variety. There are women in that community, and that's so shocking to me. But then again, I remember how much of the shade room style T channels are actually perpetuating misogyny, internalized misogyny to an audience that has a lot of internalized misogyny itself, that they just can't see themselves. Even if a lot of these women have been victim to similar types of misogyny, stalkerish behavior, obsessive behavior like this from men, they can't understand that like they're engaging and participating in a similar thing that they've themselves been victim to when it's a ordained enemy of their favorite podcast, I guess.
I knew it. And she's so mad. And I just can't get over the fact that like Taylor Lorenz keeps lecturing our community, which is majority female, on how much I'm dangerous to women.
Guess what? I have bad news for you, Alex.
Thank you for
Women
the 50
are deeply
big
misogynistic.
bones.
This is what I'm talking about. What do you think?
And open presents. Thank you for the 100 gifted subs. What's ironic is Taylor Lorenz kind of the type of person that used to love H3, a journalist who covers online discourse and drama. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Ethan was a fan of Taylor Lorenz's reporting.
Are snark subreddits are the picture of misogyny on the internet. I don't know where people got the idea that women don't uphold misogyny. He's a misogynist, first of all. Everything he says misogynistic stuff all the time. He's deeply misogynistic and appears to have he look at all the stuff that he said about young women. You know, he just traffics in misogynistic hate, and that feeds these snark communities because Ethan is actually
the other side of this story that I don't understand. I don't know if you know that, but he thought your joke at the Streamer Awards was sexual harassment, and yet he does stuff like this. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Both parties consent, but Ethan Klein does not consent, so it's obviously sexual harassment. Whereas both parties don't consent in this circumstance, but because Ethan is doing it, it's not. Accusing a woman of only having certain political positions or certain ideological predispositions because they want to fuck a man is peak misogyny. Having said that, the thing that is like somewhat frustrating about this is like, even for the remaining girly pops that exist in this community, what I find particularly strange is like, do they not realize who they're around? Like, does it not ever ring any alarm bells that they're like genuinely surrounded by people who take pleasure in the downfall of a lot of these female content creators from a outwardly misogynistic perspective? I don't know. It's just strange to me.
has a very symbiotic relationship with the snark communities. He has recognized that the snarkers on the internet, these, again, which I've reported on for years, they are vicious, misogynistic, and hateful. And he loves to leverage those people against the women that he targets.
Great source there, girlie. You fucking dumbass. Fuck you.
The HD podcast.
Actually, fuck you. Like, fuck.
Is also so mean and so ugly and mean-spirited, you know?
You. Fuck you.
After releasing a video about Ethan Klein on her own YouTube channel, YouTuber Cruel World Happy Mind was invited on the H3 podcast for what she thought would be a good faith conversation. Little did she know, Ethan and his whole crew had prepared an entire docket of debate-style questions for her.
First of all, thanks for calling. Nice to meet you virtually.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot. So what I want to do today is talk through it, right? And I can express myself, you can express yourself, and we'll see if there's any understandings brought. I'm gonna try my best to be respectful, and I want to have a productive conversation, right? So that's my goal here. Do you know what happened on October 7th?
We were living it still because my family lives there.
Do you think Hamas was? Do you think Hamas are terrorists?
Do you think I'm dressed like a pedophile? I don't understand. What is your point?
Seeing, your past Reddit accounts, seeing the sort of jokes that you would continually make about pedophilia, seeing all of that and your closeness with the brand, I was kind of like, essentially, that association,
Do I make a lot of jokes about pedophilia? I mean, I acknowledge.
Yes. What? When you're not making jokes where you present yourself as a pedophile, you consistently call other people pedophiles with regular frequency. It's crazy.
I had that old account that's like 15 years old and stuff. But do I make jokes about pedophilia? I don't think so. That's not like a frequent topic. I mean, I talk about Michael Jackson. That's true. Michael Jackson, I make Michael Jackson jokes.
What do you think about people who make jokes about Michael?
I think it's cruel. I think it's cruel because I think also it's cruel to do that to somebody who's passed away.
Tell him, Michael.
The fact that he's been attacked after death is just such a sad thing.
What do you think Michael would have thought about Ethan? I'm ready to get started whenever you are, so.
No, I'm not done yet.
We only got like 30 minutes, so whenever you're ready.
Will you do the moonwalk with me?
I'll try.
Okay.
He hit that shit, bro.
He just started.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna go up on the right toe. You slide the left back. It's not bad, actually. Tell me, why did you share this post from Froggy Tonic encouraging people to insult me in real life? Sorry, I mean, who has? Not that you shared a post of him doing this. Do you think I deserve violence in some physical response?
Again, dude, I've been covering this story and chatting with the individuals involved. How would you suggest I go about getting these people to speak frankly about this situation? I don't think you deserve violence or anguish for internet drama, but you realize I'm also Jewish and have faced anti-Semitism online before, right?
I did not know you were Jewish. I'm sorry. Condolence.
What? Condolences. Oh, that emote response makes it even funnier. This is so... This is... Oh, no. It's just... Listen, Alex. Incoming token allegations, okay? Just wait.
I should have been like smarter going about it. If I was told like, hey, we're sitting down for a debate, I would have like maybe gone about it differently. But it was like, hey, we're gonna have a conversation here. Like let's have a kind conversation, and then it's like rephrased as like this is a debate.
But the live ambush from Ethan was just the beginning of the harassment towards Cruel World Happy Mind. She and her partner began to receive tons of threatening messages from riled up H3 fans.
My husband got like one of the most intense messages that we got sent, where someone sent him a message saying that they're going to show up at our house, break my jaw, or they called us like a Nazi, our Nazi family. They were gonna show up at our house, break my jaw, break my child's jaw, like that, and I forget what else they've said, but like that was like the just
That man, Attorney General of the state of Virginia, he hit the what's his face line, dude. I mean, it's really fucked up for sure. Attorney General of the state of Virginia, Jay Jones. Also, was great neyin? Ne oluyor? Neye haberim var? Ya burada niye konuşuyorsunuz burada? Neyse peki. Okay. Who wrote that? Help? Are you joking? Yes, I'm joking. The Attorney General of the state of Virginia, Jay Jones, did write a text message similar to that about a Republican's Nazi children. It's also weird because they're like, oh, I want to combat what I suspect is anti-Semitism because they hurt my favorite podcaster's feelings. But then they're just like so easy to threaten to, beat the shit out of people's children and even call the dude the F slur.
The message. And so Ethan had sent me a message after he did that whole podcast and said that I should come back on his show, that he wants me to come back on his show. And so the only thing I responded is just sending him like this screenshot because I was like curious, like, and then someone just said they're going to show up at our house and break our jaws. Like, what are you going to say? And all he responds is that's just a snarker. That's not our audience. That's a snarker. That's not our audience. And then he says, you're victimizing.
That absolutely is his audience, by the way. That's the biggest bullshit. As someone who is the recipient of messages like that with regular frequency, there's definitely a lot of people in his audience that operate exactly like that. So when he says that's a snarker, he's not wrong. It's just like he doesn't realize that he is the king of snark. And his audience is comprised entirely of snarkers.
Yourself.
By the way, my community doesn't harass people.
That's not true. Let me explain to you
absolutely, provably, empirically true.
Do you want to hear my perspective, or do you want to fucking just keep playing clips that your production team put together?
Ethan's not even really a commentator anymore. He's a CEO, a capital owner, and his product is drama.
I really miss the time when we could produce fun segments without having to sensationalize or clickbait it and just upload it and knowing people were going to enjoy it. I think the only way they'll push it is if it's like hyper specified to you, which is why super specific like drama stuff tends to do the best.
Ethan has long said that he models the H3 podcast after the Howard Stern show. But Ethan's ignoring a big difference here. Howard Stern had bosses. Howard Stern had limits set by people that were above him. Ethan Klein answers to no one, and that's part of the problem.
How the fuck are you supposed to grow a business and, participate in this space? I feel like serial rapists and murderers get treated the same way.
Like I know people that worked on somebody like James Charles shoot, and they're treating me the same way.
When you have no guardrails, no one to tell you, hey, maybe don't rage text that guy, or maybe suing that small creator is a bad look, you end up here, isolated in a mansion, surrounded by yes men, and convinced the whole world is out to get you while you bleed subscribers by the hundreds of thousands.
I don't talk about this because it's painful and I don't want people to know. But I'll say, it's from a professional perspective, our entire lives are ruined. Collaborations, partners, business partners, employees.
You know what's so crazy about this? Like, even the most diehard Hasbro operatives, like Amy Schumer and whatnot, had that like collective psychosis moment for like the first couple of months after October 7. But then we're like smart enough to just not consistently keep hammering it over and over again. Many people in Hollywood that were also as aggressive in their defensive posture towards Israel early on 2 years after the fact, like Jennifer Lawrence turned around and were like, oh yeah, actually free Palestine. And what's crazy is that a big part of the reason why like this happened to Ethan is that he just never let go. He just never let go. That's it. He in some ways, I think he's like moved at least beyond like calling everybody an anti-Semite for criticizing the big, beautiful, diverse state of Israel, the most moral nation on the planet. But that stink is still there, you know? I mean, this man was posting the Gaza Holocaust Fund press release statements to get an own on me. He was like, oh, you and your Hamas buddies, Hamas Piker. What do you have to say to this? And then it was like a press release from literally the GHF, a designated belligerent war criminal organization that was created by America and Israel, right? He had people from the Atlantic Council on to deliver the Palestinian perspective. Just incredibly vile shit.
Creators, you know, friends. Brittany Broski just completely stopped responding to me.
Yeah, he still praises Hen Mazig and all these other Hosbarists, prominent Hosbarists over and over again. And then he's like, why do people think I'm pro-Israel? I don't know, because you fucking can't shut the fuck up. You just can't stop defending Israel, whether it be attacking its critics or whether it be hyping up its prominent defenders. Kind of feels like, you know, you just can't keep doing it.
Collaborations, partners, business partners, employees, creators, you know, friends. Brittany Broski just completely stopped responding to me. Brittany Broski.
Dude, it's like, this is literally the Tim Pool moment. It's society's fault. It's everyone else but me.
Look, I don't blame her if she doesn't want to get involved. And I've seen what this harassment looks like, and I've seen what she received for basically doing nothing, right? So I don't blame her for wanting to not be involved in that, but it doesn't feel fucking good knowing that somebody that I was friends with in real life, that I had rapport with, that I hung out with, that I talked to about, you know, making a show together at one point, that we were in like regular contact, just like all of a sudden fucking quietly unfollows me and everything H3 related. Like, sure, I don't blame her. I'm not angry at her, but like at the same time, just, I mean, what the fuck did I do? Of course I don't blame her. These people are the worst, you know? But we'll get them, guys. We'll get them. You know me. I'll ruin my fucking life in the pursuit of getting these people.
Ethan Klein is involved in a number of frivolous lawsuits right now that he claims are due to infringements on his copyright.
I've really resented this narrative from Hasan and all these people in orbit who say their lawsuits are frivolous. When you spend a second to look into it, it's clearly not frivolous.
Yeah, the 300 mentions of me in a copyright suit definitely doesn't invite suspicion at all on what the true ambitions behind this lawsuit was, or even the fact that and this is a Taylor Lorenz tweet here, he's having a genuine psychotic break over Hasan not paying attention to him. Also, anyone calling anyone else a greedy, money-obsessed liar. In undisputable fact, Hasan has never reached out to help Casey Tron, despite implying he would. And to my knowledge, he has not reached out to help the other two. Any one of them could immediately disprove me, including Hasan. There is no legal disadvantage in doing so. Your socialist king is a greedy, money-obsessed liar. Sorry. Meanwhile, Vadim is so broke, he wears the same shirt every day, and I bet he even was able to donate. Yeah. Everyone else in the community pitched in. Some who likely couldn't afford it, but did it anyway, while Hasan, who was worth many millions, did not give a dime. Y'all got to rationalize that one. Now, what's really interesting about this is, as I said back then, and I will repeat once again, whether I do or do not help any of these people, you will never know about it. Okay? I'm just going to repeat that one more time. Okay? That's number one. Bet your ass. Secondly, what's so insane about this is like, help these people out financially. You're ruining their lives. You can help these people out financially by dropping the fucking lawsuit. The fuck? What do you mean? Like, you are the one who is putting them through financial ruin. Do people just not realize that, or what's going on here? Where it's like, well, I sued these people and Hasan is not giving them money directly so that it can transfer into my bank account. Like, that's desperately what he wants. He wants a W in this situation and somehow wants to tie it back to me, even though they reacted to a YouTube video that is mostly just clips of fucking me. The fuck? You make a YouTube video, you don't get the response you want out of the YouTube video, then you decide, oh, actually, I'm going to use this to trap people in a legal bind. Then you literally trap people in a legal bind. You make their life a living hell. You torment them. You try to make content out of it. And you're like, why aren't you not giving them money that will inevitably land in my pocket? It doesn't make any sense. You could save them from the legal trouble by dropping the lawsuits. You know? You could do that. It's so clear that Ethan was ultimately just trying to financially punish Hasan by attacking Casey Frogan, etc. And Hasan rightfully didn't take the bait. Ethan had no other options and is now crashing out. Exactly. That's why it's like really interesting when people will try to do that thing where they're like, well, Casey called you out by name in the apology video. In the apology video, Casey Tron called you out by name for not helping you out. Yeah, she also apologized to Asmongold. I wonder if those were things that she was forced to do because of this financially ruinous, frivolous litigation. No, I guess nobody with less than 2 brain cells will ever know, I guess, whether or not this was something she was forced into doing, which, for the record, at the time I said this and I will repeat it, whatever gets you out of this insane legal trouble by a wealthy person who is manic, who is insane, has openly and repeatedly stated that they will ruin their own platform. They will ruin their own career. They will put their own workers in financial struggle, specifically to abuse what fraction of power they have, to bully people and place them under mountainous paperwork with frivolous litigation. Whatever gets you out of that is A-okay. Even that post is bait. He wants you to say I did help her so we can reopen the case. No, I never did. Whether I did or did not, you will never know. Yeah, remember when he said, unless I give $75,000 to all of the lawsuits that he had launched, he was going to sue Sean the Black randomly. What a hero. What a honest legal pursuit this is. What a hero Ethan Klein is.
And they keep rehashing the same dumb arguments like, oh, if it wasn't for this, why aren't you suing Asmongold? Dude, I said it in the video. I said it a million times over every time. It's because
not the same
they willfully and maliciously copyright infringe.
Yeah.
In actuality, Ethan's lawsuits are a tool to scare and silence his critics. A tactic that Ethan Klein learned the hard way after being scared and silenced himself by film industry mogul and former Harvey Weinstein lookalike Ryan Kavanaugh.
Ryan Kavanaugh was probably one of the last, real powerful men that he went after. Look what happened with that. Casey Tron had to do a similar form of public humiliation that he did with the Ryan Kavanaugh lawsuit.
To Ryan Kavanaugh, I want to offer my sincere and unreserved apology. At the time, I was led to believe you were behind a particular copyright lawsuit. Acting on that belief, I went on and attacked you publicly and persistently. In doing so, I failed to consider the personal impact of my actions, and I lost sight of the basic respect every person deserves, regardless of any dispute. That hit its home. Because of the attention I placed on you, I know that you and your family became the target of harassment and hate, and truly none of them deserved any of that. The hurt that, was caused by my actions is something I take full responsibility for, and I am truly sorry for that. With this apology and with full respect, I ask that anybody who may have been acting on my behalf directly or indirectly stop immediately. Ryan and his family and his associates should be left alone now for good.
Ethan spent what some called the best years of the H3 podcast fighting a legal battle against Ryan Kavanaugh over what was initially a copyright infringement lawsuit that then spiraled into multiple defamation cases.
I'm just going to type Ryan Kavanaugh, and I'm not going to, but I'll say this. He does resemble Harvey Weinstein physically, and that's all I'll say about that. If you Google...
I think for most of his career, and myself included in this, like, we didn't really... Many people understood what was going on here, but at least for myself, I wasn't very familiar with what Ethan was doing. And the random things that I did know was that he was the Vape Nation guy, and then he had like gone after, Keemstar, and apparently he was going after this like rich billionaire guy. I don't give a fuck about Ryan Kavanaugh, and for that reason, I think like the unlimited torrent of harassment that he subjected the people he was going after to went unnoticed because it was against people who were very destructive themselves and far more consequential than even Ethan was at the time. So that's how he got away with it. And I think when he started looking for new targets, specifically people like myself, especially on an issue like Israel-Palestine, that's when people were like, hold up, the fuck are you doing?
Ryan Kavanaugh, you'll probably find on the top.
I believe you saw his Bill Burr interview and then still did the leftovers. I've to this day, I've never watched his Bill Burr interview. I've never watched his podcast before this. I didn't know anything about like frenemies or whatever. I still don't know that much about Trisha Paytas. I think you guys have a lot more information about this stuff than I do, and you assume that I have the same level of knowledge. I don't. And Kavanaugh looked like HarveyWeinstein.com. What the fuck?
You know that's my website, right?
That's so stupid.
We made that website to help the public.
He was a much happier person back then, too, by the way.
Months ago, those lawsuits finally settled with Ethan on the considerable losing end, having to deliver a public apology to Ryan Kavanaugh on his podcast, as well as censor all of the previous mentions of him on his show.
I'm not accusing Ryan Kavanaugh, the guy who's suing me from Chiller, of sexual impropriety. I just think they look similar. That's all. Just to make that clear.
Having to remove the best years of your videos and apologize to someone who financially wrecked you for what's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars has to inflict some form of psychological trauma and damage on you. But for Ethan, settling with Ryan Kavanaugh was just a necessary evil so he could pursue his righteous cause of suing women who reacted to his YouTube video.
The whole point of these lawsuits for me has been activism from the start. That's the primary purpose of this. And so when I hear that she's kind of learned how to be more mindful with the way she interacts with copyrighted or other people's property, then I think that's a big win for both of us. I think that's a huge dub. If you have a problem,
activist of the century,
with what I'm saying, talk about that. Also, why are you literally lying and defaming the dude who's like suing everybody talking shit right now? Like, people are not learning. They will not learn. They don't believe me still or something. I'm suing 3 people. This is not the end of it.
One of his lawsuits against Casey Tron just settled and ended with Casey Tron delivering a somber public apology. Gee, I wonder where they learned that trick.
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content nuke. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins.
You know what? I should just let it play for you guys, right? And we can go back and enjoy certain moments of it. Or, I mean, not enjoy, because certainly that's not the right word to say. But
no, I mean, not enjoy. Ooh, enjoy. It's just so... Like, it's not like this is I mean, this is a very obvious mass-lib moment, but I mean, the entire thing is fucking nutty. It's just, I don't know. I just don't understand like how people derive satisfaction from someone who is objectively behaving in this evil way. Like, how do you watch a movie and ride for the villain, you know?
To appreciate.
You know, Casey Tron on multiple occasions has said that
that's a 40-year-old man, by the way. That's the other
felt
thing.
that she couldn't afford to do it because she is taking care of, you know, multiple family members who cannot work. And Ethan Klein doing that, knowing that situation, and instead forcing her to release some sort of hostage-style apology, just kind of makes the whole situation look incredibly, you know, gross.
It's clear that Ethan's
We're not missing Trump. We're gonna watch Donald Trump at 6 p.m. when he goes live at 6 p.m.
goal here is not to establish some kind of new precedent for copyright law. It's just to inflict the same trauma and public embarrassment that he received from Ryan Kavanaugh onto his own enemies, who are, again, mostly women creators who have smaller subscriber counts than him.
Ethan has kind of used that, you know, these women did this, you know, copyright abuse in his mind as kind of like a way to shoo off any of the criticisms of misogyny.
To the lawsuit stuff. Now, people are scrambling to draw defense up for the indefensible. There is basically 3 people making the most damning confessions on video. There is no way to honestly defend these people. But I predicted what would happen, and of course, it's exactly what's happening. The refrains are attacking women, attacking small creators, silencing silencing criticism, targeting.
Yeah, all of that is true. That's objectively what has taken place. Yeah. Just right on it, dude.
Palestine voices, etc., etc.
Ethan's audience also knows that he's going through some kind of extended crash out because they try to inflict the same trauma and psychic damage onto whoever Ethan tells them is the enemy of the week. What Ethan's audience doesn't fully understand when trying to do this type of harassment is that by trying to give the snarkers a taste of their own medicine, they've become addicted to the formula of gaslighting and public harassment, just like the snark communities do.
Harassment podcast.
Yeah, that's what the H stands for.
Again, there's another snarking talking point.
Sounds like such a Karen.
People outside of the snarking community don't use certain lines of attack. Like calling our podcast a harassing, what do you call it? A
harassment podcast.
A harassment podcast it's nobody outside snark says that. It's just an insanely dumb, totally random attack.
Bro is still trying to unmask the Reddit mods. His crazy behavior. Yeah. That's so nutty. Like, I'm telling you, if I did something that was equivalent, no matter how valid it is, and in the case of like LSF, there's at least enough like out there evidence, people would go crazy. People would be like, oh, dude, I can't believe Hasan is doing this. What a piece of shit. All this stuff. Like, there would be endless amounts of content. I know for a fucking fact Moist Critical will make a video about it. You know, he would straight up make a video, be like, "Oh, the situation's out of control. Worst guy on the internet." You have a reason to do that with LSF? Even now, they're manipulating clips in a dishonest fashion. Yeah, every day. I just don't. I don't think it's valid, worthwhile. It is what it is. Let him chirp into the fucking wind, you know? The way I see it is the truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. For as many people that see that stuff and go, fuck, this is Hasan guy, there's going to be people that tune in and go, let me see this for myself. And I think very quickly, when people do tune in, they see that there is not a lot of truth to these claims.
Line that is just totally imagined in their psychotic world.
Snark is a made-up concept by Ethan Klein to weaponize his audience against people he disagrees with. I don't care what influencer you are. There is an audience of people who hate you. You know, every influencer has a snark community, if you feel that snark is a valid term.
You do have your moments, but you're not a horrible person. Like, this is just an objectively evil person. Yeah.
Exist in an online space that thrives on negativity. And I think Ethan Klein's packaging of snark has been incredibly lucrative for him.
This type of information warfare is a dime a dozen on the internet these days. Almost every online figure has a snark community in their name. But for some reason, Ethan claims that his snark community is the most dangerous.
I mean, how extreme?
Real question, why do people like XU Moist decide to go after you? I can't speak on Moist, but XUC is pretty simple. He has never stopped despising me since I played somewhat of a role in getting cryptocurrency gambling banned on twitch.tv. And he got a big bag off of that. And it made him feel bad. That's it.
Do I need to get these people's attentions? I just don't understand. Because at a certain point, I personally, as a parent and as a person, I can't just sit.
You made Moist seem too woke when you talked about him being the canary in the coal mine for public changing on Palestine. I mean, I still think Moist Critical has his woke moments. He does. He's gone out the bat for trans people in the past and stuff. Like, I just, it is what it is. He's not always the person sitting firmly on the fence. There are moments where he will. That's not coping. I'm just being honest. Okay, that is an honest assessment. It's true.
Idly by and let these people.
He does now fully think that I'm like Donald Trump and I deflect away all the reasonable criticism in a cult-like fashion, and I'm still saying that. I'm firm in my position. Just like I say all the time that he has a tendency to go for bottom of the barrel commentary slop shit that will be easy to farm without actually looking into it or anything like that. Something about like Pokimane or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain appropriate targets that like have drawn so much enmity from all different circles of the internet that when they're in a moment of heat, no matter how silly the controversy might be, he will hit that for sure. I'm one of those people too.
Will continue doing what they're doing.
For that reason, he's spending even more of his hard-earned YouTube and Teddy Fresh money trying to subpoena Reddit and Discord to dox the individuals behind the snark accounts.
Y'all thought I was playing games? I'm coming. Y'all thought, oh, Ethan's not going to get our info. Oh, look at Ethan. He's not this and that. Oh, Reddit's not going to give it. Oh, they're not going to give us up. You're done. You're cooked. I'm coming. All I need is your IP address.
And so ultimately they will have a charge of copyright infringement filed against them?
That's correct.
That's the idea?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
The charge is specifically inducement of copyright. I don't know. There's some specific...
Inducement?
There's some specific terminology for it. But then also, because some of your cohorts leaked your Discord messages to us. We have some of your Discord IDs, and guess what? We're gonna if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have all your messages.
Israel.
Discord. And listen, don't try to erase them. If you erase them now, it's not gonna.
Reddit denied his request to ban his snark and said that his subreddit acts basically the same. I mean, his subreddit is a primary vehicle for cyber stalking operations against whoever the fuck Ethan is hating that week.
Look good. And you should know that I'll still get them even if you erase them.
I'm sympathetic to anybody that's going through such, like, you know, that tells me rather that they're going through harassment, because I have dealt with so much of that. And so I was like, well, I'll try to help them. You know, they were making a lot of claims about Reddit at the time too, and snark subreddits. And that's something I've reported on a lot. I reached out to Reddit and I was like, hey, can you look into this? Like, they're making all these claims that they're being doxxed, and the CPS people are calling their, you know, from Reddit and everything. Reddit looked into it. They were like, not only did we not find that, but like his community is actually being problematic and abusive.
When it comes to Ethan Klein's crash outs, they are being milked for content. It's all about how much can you engage with, and how much can you milk a lolcow? And Ethan Klein has proven that, like, he just wants the content. You know, he's milking himself at this point. There's no doubt in my mind that this is just like where he expects this to go and what he wants out of his YouTube experience.
Now, if you don't watch my channel a lot, you wouldn't know this, but I was actually involved in a pretty public lawsuit as well. All that to say, I know how to read these legal papers, and I've done it a couple times. And while Ethan's attorney may be very talented and charge him a lot of money, these subpoenas read like the incredibly deranged ramblings of someone wealthy enough to try to litigate public opinion on the internet. And
that's precisely what it is. And it's ironic because it fails. It fails in that capacity as well. Like, I don't think people's minds are genuinely changed here. I think it's just it's an opportunity for small people to feel powerful. Because only an insecure person, only a weak person, only a small person would derive this level of satisfaction off of going after people like Casey Tron, going after people like Morgan. At a certain point, you would just give up. You'd be like, all right, what am I getting out of this, right? So for a lot of these people, it's like it's an opportunity to feel like they have something going on in their lives. Like, oh, the big, powerful, wealthier YouTuber is going after people that we've decided are our enemies, our ideological enemies, our major enemies. So that's all this is. You know, it's a very sad state of affairs.
And that doesn't mean that the courts won't take it seriously. I mean, this is America, a country that was founded on frivolous lawsuits from the rich.
Tonight you are saying to our viewers that you will go forward and file a defamation lawsuit against the BBC.
Well, I think I have an obligation to do it. I guess I have to, you know, why not? Because they defrauded the public.
Well, listen up, mods, haters, snarkers. It's going to start settling. These people still think this is a joke. All the snarkers and all the people, they keep coping hard about how, you know, Ethan's delusional, his lawyer's an idiot, this is all whatever. And it's going to start dawning on you. This should be the first peek at what's coming. And what's coming is the full fucking...
How much you want to bet Ethan won't address this actual video because it's well put together. It's from a male content creator. He won't watch this in full at all. And instead, he'll take choice clips from this stream of my reaction to it, make content out of it, right? Make endless amounts of content out of it, and then simultaneously go on a fucking massive rant about how I'm actually a misogynist and say a whole bunch of nonsensical bullshit like he's tried to do over and over again. Be like, because anytime he's under any fucking scrutiny whatsoever, he always hits the no, but Hasan. Like, anytime. So I suspect that'll be the next method. pre-watching it for now. I will, of course, not be watching that. I will not be giving it any attention. But I suspect that that's what he'll do.
Way of Lady Justice's big fat swinging titties.
But Ethan's not just pulling a Donald Trump here. He's taking a page out of the book of a very important attorney.
So I'm really anxiously looking forward to an opportunity to depose CNN. This will be the first time this has ever happened. And I think CNN is probably quaking in their boots. We have demanded that they not destroy any documents, any memos. We want to get the editors who told them to edit the tape. We want to get the commentators.
And look, I know in my last video I said that Destiny was like Alan Dershowitz because they both love teenage girls and the state of Israel. Well, for Ethan Klein, he's like Dershowitz because they both love to sue people as a pastime. Oh, and because they both love Israel still. We can keep the Israel thing up there. What do you think like Michael thinks about like frivolous lawsuits?
I think that Michael, he would believe that everybody's entitled to, you know, be able to have a lawsuit, and I think he believed in the law and everything. But that's why he had he fought for his, you know, innocence.
Yeah.
You understand two-party consent laws, right?
New York City is single-party consent.
I only say that because I told you the conversation was private and you agreed.
Not sure a court would see my messages as me agreeing with you, but I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Oh, my bad. I thought New York City, like California, was two-party.
Nope, here's a link to the law.
This is not me threatening to sue you. I won't. More so just expressing my disappointment that you would agree to have a private conversation and then publish it. I was polite and respectful the entire time, my friend.
Dog, you straight up were not. You accused me of being a snarker over retweets of people promoting my content when I was just asking you for comment about my interview with Taylor.
But Alex, you started your last video with you shooting me with a pistol. I hardly think that's appropriate in this political climate.
It's clearly a Terminator issue T-1000 liquid metal disguising itself as you to make a metaphor for warring online communities.
I saw someone with a gun shooting at me. You think that's okay considering the rise of political...
Dude, what the fuck? You literally nuked me. The fuck? Oh, my bad. I forgot it's appropriate when Ethan does it.
Assassinations?
Well, you're not gonna like the new video either then. I've got a whole factory of T-1000 Ethans.
Please do not include imagery of me being shot.
I would never and have never done that.
LOL, the point is that you shot me. I can't tell if you're serious.
I already told you, I shot the T-1000 Liquid Metal Edition. That's not you. But I know it looks similar considering the T-1000 can disguise itself as anyone and anything. Have you seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day? It's a great film. Also, like Dershowitz, Ethan uses accusations of anti-Semitism as a shield from criticism.
I'm going to sue you if I can. And I feel like there's a lot of ground to it. Yeah, that's going to happen. So fuck you. Like literally fuck you. How dare you? After all this time, you go regurgitate all this shit in the most hateful, anti-Semitic, obsessive fucking freak way. And then to sit here and pretend like you're unbiased, fuck you.
So using anti-Semitism as...
No, you don't understand. I looked it up. There's only two things that are actual anti-Semitic behavior. Hating Israel and hating Ethan Klein. Judging by Ethan Klein's standards, those are the only two instances of real anti-Semitism. Okay? Oh, shit, sorry. Saying Sabra hummus is shit. Unless you're Ethan Klein. In which case you can say Sabra hummus is shit. Because he has said that. After successfully launching a campaign to get content creators who said Sabra hummus is shit banned off of Twitch.
Like a protection has kind of always bothered me. Like Jews in general who use anti-Semitism to dodge criticism is something that like grosses me out, because anti-Semitism is a real thing. I have had pennies thrown at my head. I've been punched in my head for wearing a yarmulke. Like, I have dealt with actual anti-Semitic attacks.
Okay, I'm sorry, but none of those things are the three things that I mentioned. So, sorry. Not real. Ethan Klein be like, condolences. Only after, I suspect, he will call both of the people involved in this interview token Jews, as he likes to say, and do, with even the likes of Sam Cedar. That was so crazy.
So claiming that me thinking that Ethan Klein, his video, the Casey Tron video is, it's kind of, upsetting, and it feels like the lawsuit was kind of just, this was the goal. That's not anti-Semitic. Using anti-Semitism as a crutch is just something that makes me feel icky. And Ethan Klein has definitely used that as a way to kind of like push away criticism.
Ethan has even gone as far as partnering with radical Zionist Dan Saltman on a long-term sponsorship for the H3 podcast.
We are going to watch this.
That's where the relationship with money kind of comes in, is that Dan Saltman pays for this sort of stuff and allows him also to, again, be kind of introduced to H3's community as part of the brand. The weirdest part of the brand where Ethan says horrible things and needs to cut out before they're live.
You guys may have noticed we got a button sponsor. Look at it. Oh wait, my glasses. Redact.dev, guys. They are our button sponsor. Basically, they've got a pre-roll. Whenever I hit the button, you'll see some Redact stuff now. It's a dream partnership.
It just makes sense. People like to call me like an ultra Zionist, genocidal maniac, and in my mind, I think the Jews should have gotten half of Germany. I think that would have been the fair thing to have in that situation. So it's just but these people.
Wait a minute. I don't even disagree. Okay, same. Can't believe we're in agreement. Fair is fair. What the fuck?
People for their entire life have been told that Jews are evil, and that they want to destroy you. And if you kill one of them, you're gonna, I don't know all the religious terms, but it's crazy. And to combat that level of indoctrination, there has to be a massive influx of resources into that area. There needs to be a McDonald's on every corner, and everyone there needs to be driving a Ferrari. And I know it sounds stupid, but it's only at that point that these people are that the residents of Gaza and the West Bank are going to be like, maybe, let's focus on something besides killing Jews, because life right now is pretty awesome.
Funny enough, when I spoke with him, Dan Saltman also offered me a weird sponsorship with his terrible company.
If you ever feel like pushing it, let me know. And, we have an affiliate program that I can get you in. And essentially, if you, for a lot of content, I think it makes sense. A lot of content creators that
I mean, not on this video, because I don't want to sick any bad people back towards you, but we'll talk about it. Sure.
Yeah, but maybe in the future. But yeah, like if you're dealing, I mean, it sounds like you do stuff like, this is what this guy said in the past. That's like always the perfect segue into like, don't want to be the next subject of my video? Use redact.dev and make sure you clean up all of your DMs on Discord, Twitter, Reddit, etc. So, but let me know. No rush.
Aside from business, Dan Saltman and Ethan Klein also share an extreme hatred for Hasan Piker and a vested interest in getting him deplatformed from the streaming platform Twitch.
Twitch continues to allow him to spread terrorist propaganda with impunity, without even seemingly a warning. Just a full-on endorsement of this terrorist organization right here on Twitch. Now, I don't know if you remember, but basically this is what caused the apocalypse on YouTube, is that ads were showing up next to ISIS videos.
Ethan Klein's obsession with Hasan Piker was the first thing.
Yeah, ads showing up to next to my videos is the same as showing up next to Ice's video.
That started his decline in views and subscribers. His casual viewers lost interest and moved on to other things, while his core audience became more loyal and radicalized.
I saw a Reddit post on Art Tanky the deprogram about how you're not a part of the left-wing pipeline anymore. I'm not posting a link because I don't want to get banned. Is this another optics issue? I lab you. Please don't ban me. Yeah, it's true. I'm no longer a part of the left-wing pipeline. I'm a part of the right-wing pipeline now.
Our audience was extremely supportive and kind.
Yeah.
And again, so grateful, despite everything we've been through, to still have like a significant core audience that supports us, that knows who we are, right? That's
It's 6. What do you want me to do? He's not live yet. He's late. Dummies.
Continue pushing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there'd be no point otherwise.
Even after making his entire content nuke and debating Hasan live months later, Ethan still can't let his grudge and obsession with Hasan Piker go.
I promised everybody that I was
I'm not gonna lie, you gotta defend yourself from what More Pegasus says, or I'm inclined to believe him. No, everything he says about me is correct.
take this to the next level. Once CPS showed up to my house, this is only the beginning. This is chapter 1. There's many more to come. And by the way, Hasan, if you think I'm done with you, I'm not done with you by a mile. I'm taking the trash out. I'm saving you for my main course, you fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter who spends all day lying. It's funny, this narrative, Ethan's obsessed with Hasan, literally spends hours every day on his stream talking about me. I saw the guy. Don't worry, buddy. I got time for everybody. I'm making time for everybody.
Americans.
You know what I mean?
This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by